Let's have a look at the back of the Helix, just so that we know how we can connect it to the various devices that we're going to use it with. To start, here on the left side, we've got a few expression pedal inputs. So you can use expression pedals that are external aside from the one that's built into the Helix floor. You've also got the ability to send external amp signals. So if you want to be able to hook your Helix up to an amp and actually use the various channels of the amp, you can use your Helix pedal to control the amp itself. We've also got a control voltage expression output, so you can connect that to the expression input of a classic vintage pedal or synth. Now you've got your main guitar input, and that's where you'll plug in your electric guitar. You've got an auxiliary input, so you can connect a secondary active pickup equipped guitar or bass. Now you've also got a microphone input, and this is great because you can have separate effects channels. You can totally hook up a microphone and get vocal effects, use vocal loops, and you can even hook up an acoustic guitar this way. If you have a preamp or an acoustic guitar that sends out XLR, it's a great way to send out a nice, clean signal. Now, right here in the send return area, there are 4 sends and returns. This is awesome if you've got vintage pedals that the Helix just doesn't model and you want to be able to send and return audio from those pedals. So you can integrate external pedals and external rack effects, mixers and drum machines, other gear into your Helix setup. There's a ground lift switch right between that and the XLR outputs. The XLR outputs are what you should use if you're going to connect directly to a PA system or full range speaker system. It's balanced, it's clean, and it's gained perfectly. Now the 1/4 inch outs are next to that, and you've got a left mono and a right. So if you're going to connect to an amp, you would just use the left mono. If you're going to connect to 2 amps or to some sort of stereo input on a mixer, you would use both, but make sure you're using unbalanced cables. If you want a balanced connection, you should use the XLR output. There's a headphone jack next to that. And right to the right of that, you've got a Variax guitar input. So if you have that special Line 6 guitar that connects with Ethernet, you can actually connect it there and it will do effects control, changing patches, in some cases power. It's a fantastic connection. Now there's MIDI in and out and through. And those connections are great because this particular pedal, even if you never use the audio in the Helix, many musicians use the Helix simply for its control features to control other amps and control other pedals. So you can do a lot of control with the MIDI connections. The digital section is after that. You've got a SPDIF, which is Sony Philips digital interface format, in and out, in a coaxial format, and also an XLR AES EBU, but it's also used as L6 link. So there are special stage source monitors, DT series amplifiers that all can connect with a single XLR cable. It's a digital connection. There's a USB port, and then finally your power and connections. So there's lots of different ways you can connect this pedal and integrate it into your gear. As simple as plugging your guitar in and plugging the Helix into an amp, and as complicated as routing external pedals as well as XLR outs, and you can use multiple outputs. You can send your acoustic signal out the XLRs to your main front of house system, and then the 1/4 inch out for your electric guitar to your amp that you're using. So these outputs and inputs are all mutually exclusive. You can use them all at the same time. It's really cool. It's a great system and allows for a lot of configurability and flexibility in your guitar setup.